YouTube model railroader fans. Welcome to the Boeville, Newtown's vlog number 20. I actually tried to do this last night on October the 14th and ended up getting a phone call from work and ended up getting stuck, so I just decided instead of trying to start from where I stopped last night, I'm just going to start over, so it is now October the 15th, 2017, and happens to be Sunday. I'm getting my video editing computer updated here. Anyway, I guess a bit of a disclaimer to start off with. As most of you know, I haven't been on YouTube since the last vlog, which was in, I think, September the 4th, or September the 7th, somewhere around in that area. And of course, most of you know, I lost my father-in-law back in May, and we've been dealing with that and trying to get his house straightened out and so on and so forth. And we were back over there this weekend and working on it. And I was really really don't know where to start. And I know that I've posted in the past that I don't like mixing politics, religion, and the hobby together, and personal stuff, and so on and so forth, but I know that there has been so many people between Facebook and YouTube that have been looking for me, wondering what the heck happened, where's Ray, because I've been was doing these vlogs at the beginning of the year. I was doing them, I think, every week or every 2 weeks, or, fairly consistently, and here, like I said, the last couple of months, it's been somewhat non-existent. So, without going into details, I will just say that we have been dealing with issues stemming from my father-in-law's passing, and things are, at least on that front, are not well, are going well. The only thing I can say at this point, because I don't want to really get into it, is just keep my family in your thoughts and prayers. And I know that's about all I can say. We're just dealing with some issues that we shouldn't have to deal with, but because of the way things were set up and the way things are done, it's nothing between my wife and her sister. It's basically goes beyond that, and it's not even worth getting into because it just makes my blood boil. Anywho, I was kind of hoping that I could have spent a little bit more time down here this week. Here it is, in a couple of weeks I've got my niece and my nephew coming over, and I know they're going to want to come down here, and right now the train room is an absolute disaster, namely because I've got too much stuff. Namely because of the fact that, we've been bringing a lot of the stuff over from my father-in-law's. For me down here, it's been a lot of the tools. I mean, I've actually found a lot of stuff that it was like, I probably would have eventually bought it myself, but now I don't have to worry about it. I've got 2 sets of needle files, and I found some other things that I knew would become useful, such as an X-Acto saw blade. I mean, I have another, and I don't know where that one got off to. I have another saw. It's actually a track saw. This one here, I think, is mainly for cutting wood. I don't know what. Oh, there's my track saw. Okay, it's still up there. But stuff like that, and then mini miter box. Of course, that shows up so well in the light. And if that one is too small, I've got one that's a little bit bigger. But it's stuff like that that I found that I knew I'd have uses for. I mean, I had to, because the bench behind me was just full of stuff. I went ahead and he had a piece of pegboard that was the perfect size for over top my workbench. So I went ahead and took my old piece of pegboard down and put up a new piece of pegboard, and I'll probably show you guys and gals that here in a bit, with all the tools kind of lined up and everything else. It's actually somewhat functional. I can see what I've got, but you know, there was a couple different sets of tweezers, which will be great for picking up detail parts and things of that nature. I've got other saw blades. I've got two small wood saws. I've got clamps, you know, basically what I would consider hobby clamps, because there's no way you're going to use them for anything other than working on a hobby. You know, I talked about the Dremel set before, and I actually found out that that one odd piece was actually it's a plunge drill. It's not a drill press per se, but you can set it up to do routing. You can set it up to cleaning out grout around tile. You know, that's what it is. It's not an actual drill per se. It's more of a really small, or a handheld router instead of one of those monsters, which I also have. So it's kind of nice, and of course I got a drill press rig sitting over here now too. So if I need to do any type of work like that, I just have to get it mounted to the table. I don't know if I'm actually going to do that or not. I haven't decided, because one of the other things I've actually got a router table as well. It's a small one for the Dremels. So that's, you know, so I've had that going on, but, you know, like I said, I was hoping to get down here and really show some other stuff. I've actually picked up a small shop vac that has attachments for doing detail work. I think it was originally designed for cars, but the attachment pieces are so small, it's like I was looking at it going, you know what, that would be perfect for cleaning up around the track on the railroad. You know, getting in and around the details without actually sucking the details off the layout. You know, but like I said, with the mess that I've got down here right now, which I should be working on getting it straight instead of sitting here doing this, but I felt it was important to do this. You know, I still have a little bit of time before the kiddos come over. But, you know, it is what it is. What can I say? It is what it is. That's all it is. That's all there is to it. I found something else that was kind of fascinating. I know a while back I actually had been messing with a selfie stick, which happens to be this upper piece here. This here. And I kind of did a flyby over the railroad. Well, when we were over my father-in-law's, I actually found this, which is a studying stick. You can go ahead and extend it down, and when you're taking shots or taking, you know, doing whatever, you can actually hold the post on the ground, and it just gives you a steadier base, so you're not sitting there doing one of these numbers, which I have a bad tendency of doing, which is one of the reasons why I don't do handheld cameras when I work at church. Because if I did, it would look like there was an earthquake. Enough said. So this will be a handy little doodad when I go ahead and decide to do other types of shots, which, you know, it's one of the things, and I haven't gotten around to it yet, that I want to do using, you know, my phone, the iPad, and maybe even a webcam. I don't know if I want to really use the webcam, because the last time I tried that, the webcam pictures weren't really all that great. I didn't realize that. This thing's got a lip on it. That's kind of cool. I wonder if this one's got a lip on it. Nope. Okay. Sorry, I've got a one-track mind that train derailed a long time ago. So, the graph paper that I was talking about in one of the vlogs, as I just went ahead and completely shook the living heck out of everything, I'm sure. This here, I believe, I can't, of course I'm trying to read it backwards here, but that's okay. The page itself is big enough that it will hold, instead of this, like this piece of paper behind me, which is the whole basement with the layout stuffed in the middle of it. This paper is big enough for me to put the whole layout on this one sheet of paper, which will be great, because before I was trying to line up paperwork and or trying to line up the paper edges and things of that nature to get it and it was just becoming a real pain in the butt. So this here, when I get around to actually taking the Boeville and Newtown from the computer over to paper, that's what I'll be using, which I haven't done that yet either. I know I've talked about it, hasn't been done. I've just been a little busy. I do want to kind of going back a little bit here. I know. I know Sparky had been looking for me. I know a few other folks. The only reason why I mentioned Sparky is he just actually pinged me yesterday on YouTube, wondering where the heck I was, making sure everything was all right. To which, hey Sparky, it is what it is. And I know you're going through stuff as well, and still praying for you and your family as well. But it just there's just been a lot of folks I know that have been wondering what happened, where I've been, what's been going on, and to tell you the truth, like I said in the very beginning, that it is what it is. This is what's happening. This is the reason why I haven't been around, and I don't know when I'm really going to get back into full swing where I'm actually down here working or tearing it apart or whatever. I mean, I mentioned it in the vlog, in vlog 19, that I'm sitting here looking through underneath the passenger station at Boeville, and I've still got the 1776 set sitting underneath of there. So, that goes to show you how much running or minimal running has been done. I mean, I need to get down here before the holiday, or before the holidays, before Christmas. I need to do maintenance on all the locomotives again, because they haven't been touched in a long time. The stuff, they all need to come over here and be worked on and cleaned up or whatever, and I'm just way behind. So I'm hoping that things will chill out and calm down here enough that I'll be able to get down here and start doing some work again, and we'll see what happens. With that being said, you all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch you all next time. Be safe. God bless. See ya.